Both just getting the heart rate up. Longest rally we had in the first match of the day was 29 shots.
Boys, don't waste any time. Anything you can do.
Setting the bar nice and high. You mentioned Gasquet had a sneaky good serve. What do you like about it?
You can see a kind of spin he generates on that one out wide, but he can flatten it out when he goes up the middle as well and get some decent pace behind it, Chase. You stand next to Gasquet for the first time. You realise he's not that big, but he's very broad-shouldered. Quite a strong individual. And can generate some decent snap on the serve.
He's got a good... Yeah, it's always nice, I think, to have somebody who's grown up in a similar environment to bounce ideas off, because they understand what you're having to deal with on a regular basis. And of course, he was a great player, Grosjean.
There's nothing sneaky about this guy's serve. What you see is what you get.
See, I think that's the problem for Gasquet. He gets in these rallies, but he's pushed further and further behind his baseline.
Yep.
And he just can't be effective from that, not against someone like Del Potro.
If you're going to hit that short slice, make sure you find Del Potro's backhand.
Yeah, and lean on it. Keep it nice and low. Oof, that's lovely variation.
Can't see it coming at all. Skies to go with the variation is what makes the shot as effective. I mean, it's an incredible drop shot. This one sneaking over the net.
I mean, Gasquet's a good mover, but he was nowhere near this because he was so late in taking the second hand off the racket. Sky's exquisite. Oh, well, that's a lovely little return from Gasquet, but Del Potro could see out of the corner of his eye he was sneaking in behind it and played the most sensible of replies. That's a lovely opening service game. Now, of course, he had a bit of bad luck, didn't he, Robbie, when he was travelling from Paris, Del Potro?
Yeah, he certainly did put his briefcase down to sign a few autographs for some of the fans.
He definitely didn't have a briefcase.
God, no. Well, that's the way they described it.
It's his hand luggage.
Hand luggage, briefcase.
There's no way he travels in a briefcase.
But you don't know for sure it's not a briefcase, right?
I'll bet my house it wasn't a briefcase. There's now a vision of him with a bowler hat and a pinstripe suit.
Well, that's what the news report said, Jace.
Okay, let's try again. Hand luggage problem.
Yeah, hand luggage problem. Put it down actually to sign some autographs. Next thing you know, a few photos later, he looks, turns around, and of course the briefcase is gone.
Briefcase?
Hand luggage has been stolen from him. And of course it had some nice stuff in there, didn't it?
Yeah. Passport, money.
Yeah, and of course the rosary that was blessed by the Pope in Rome earlier this year, which is very close to him.
Yeah,
of course, a huge Catholic community down in Argentina.
And the Pope's Argentine, isn't he?
Yes, so that's why he got the blessing. And a lot of photos as well that were, I think, on his computer that was also stolen.
Yeah, there's a lesson to be learned there, though, isn't there? Because he wasn't backing up his information on a computer. So, yeah, you always run that risk. But it's funny, isn't it, where, you know, we're making light of a frustrating situation. But tennis players, they don't like anything out of the ordinary. So you lose something like that rosary that's been blessed by the Pope that you think is your good luck charm and you're having a great year. You know, that can affect you.
Yeah, 100%. Of course, Tim Henman was sharing a similar sort of story with us as well before we came on here today.
Has he got any rosary beads?
No.
Okay.
He's too naughty, Tim. I don't think the Pope would give him in.
Wouldn't get him blessed, would he?
No, but of course the same sort of thing happened to him at Gardiner a couple of years ago when he was playing tennis there. So it's not the first time it's ever happened.
Did manage to get a bit of VIP treatment, so he got the passport back, or a new passport very quickly. Only had a delay of about 2 or 3 hours, so still able to get to London in the same day. So it's an aggravation, but at least he didn't waste more than a few hours in travelling. That's the good news. It's good tennis. That will give Gasquet a lot of confidence. He worked hard, but he gets the hold in the end.
Gasquet leads by 2 games to 1.
Match of the week in Group B. No breaks of serve as yet, so it's 1-2 first set.
Long. Go to long.
There's Michael Essien, and we were hearing from him earlier in the fan zone. He was being interviewed by Rob Curling, and he said he's a big tennis fan. But he said he doesn't play a lot of tennis, but loves his table tennis. Ross Hutchins was then saying, yeah, but they're the same game in essence, and I wasn't so sure. But he's a big fan. Loves the event here. It's first time that he's been here today, but loved what he saw earlier and very much enjoyed the experience. He was bigging up tennis players' fitness as well. He was very impressed with how sharp these guys are physically. He said soccer's easy. You can run a little bit, take a bit of a breather, run a little bit, take a bit of a breather, and it's only 90 minutes. You guys have to play for like 3.5 hours. It's much tougher. fitness. There's someone that the tennis players are definitely fitter than. Brad Friedel, he's a goalkeeper.
Don't mess with those guys. Bald heads, goalkeepers are a different breed, aren't they?
They are. Delpo would make a good keeper, wouldn't he? I'm not sure whether he's brave enough. Because you've got to be very brave, haven't you? Cut down the angles there.
Fragile.
I think Delpo would be telling the coach, my wrist hurts a little bit. Wayne Rooney bearing down on me. I'm not good for you today, coach.
No penalties today, please, coach. Please.
It's funny, I did do an interview with Del Potro at Benfica in Portugal a couple of years ago, and they had a couple of Argentines playing for their first team. Loves his football. Got good skills, too. Good set of feet on him.
15 all.
So he's not just a one-trick pony like Peter Crouch.
Definitely not. Nicely done. Good court coverage. Nice anticipatory skills on display there.
30-15.
As comfortable moving forward. So Warriors playing from the back of the court. Of course, can play on just about any surface as well, can Gasquet. 2007, I think, semi-finalists at Wimbledon.
Good pick up now. I think he beat Roddick in a 5-set epic, didn't he, out in the top one that year? I remember that well, like it was yesterday.
14-15.
Of course, he's lost a couple of matches at Wimbledon that he perhaps shouldn't have done. 2 sets up on Murray, wasn't he? Quarterfinals one year, lost in 5. That was a match that, you know, perhaps was a huge turning point in Murray's career. Exceptional feeling, some fantastic tennis on display from these two in the opening 5 games. Able to choose between the two. Frenchman with a slender lead, 3-2. Of course, speaking of
Rounds, and it's back-to-back matches, you know. You've got to be in phenomenal shape.
And that's perhaps one of the biggest differences of this era, isn't it? You've got someone like Del Potro, who's very tall, so he has a natural advantage when serving. He's got large levers, but moves phenomenally well. Got to be a great all-round athlete to do well this day and age. Wasn't always the case in previous generations. A lot of these tennis players, of course, transcend the sport now, haven't they, as well? Del Potro back home in Argentina, such a huge hero.
Talk about the nth degrees that they go to, not only to get themselves in the best possible shape, but mentally as well. I've just finished reading Djokovic's book, Serve to Win, and that gives you a beautiful insight into how he goes about living his life. You know, it's 24/7. It's not just something that you do in bits and pieces. To be the best player you can be, it's a whole lifestyle.
Everything you put into your body is fuel. You have to get the right amount of sleep. Got away with it. Didn't time that last backhand well, but that was the one down the line. But produce the short ball.
15 love.
A pretty safe shot, not going too close to the sideline. Still hitting aggressively, that's the key. Intelligent tennis. Probably fancy Gasquet a little more in these kind of close exchanges. Anything that's a touchy-feely. It's probably a little better than the big fella.
So then after that, nice court position. It's good to put a little bit of pressure on Gasquet's second serve, even if it doesn't work now. Give him something to think about, perhaps, on a big point a little later on in the match. So serving well so far, the Frenchman, posting some pretty decent numbers. And it's a nice variation with a bit of serve and volley too. He's got the hands, so why not keep the returner guessing? Just the 4th point in total the Frenchman surrendered on serve so far. And of course, he does have a little bit of an advantage now as we head into the business. It's a nice little sneak into the net. Of course, got away with it on the return, which was a bit of a shank. That's the first point in the match that Gasquet's been able to win when returning. There's the apology for the shank. It's amazing, isn't it? You go through 3 service games where you don't drop a point, and then all of a sudden you can be under pressure here. Again, decent return. And a snappy shot from Potro. This time it's Gasquet with a golden opportunity to take a stranglehold on this opening set. That's better serve. He's not out of the woods yet. Oh, yes. Magnificent tennis from Gasquet. He's been waiting and waiting. And finally, we see him use his favourite shot just when he needed it most.
And you can't see it coming either. The preparation is identical, but just hits it fractionally later and hits through the ball a little bit more The way he spreads his chest. Fantastic technique. Fittingly bringing him the break.
Just a little deep, that one.
Lots of limit.
He was nice and aggressive, but all of a sudden he's in trouble here. Everyone gets a little tighter when serving for sets, even the best in the business. Can't believe that just a little too late. Lovely approach shot, controlled aggression, and this is an excellent response to the loss of his serve in the previous game. Three break points. There's that really intelligent, short, sliced backhand again, drawing Del Potro out of his comfort zone, off the baseline. It's still break point. Good stuff from Del Potro. Rock solid, refusing to miss. So Gasquet will be a little disappointed with his efforts there. We're back on serve. The Frenchman leads 5-4.
Don't forget to get your exclusive official merchandise from this year's thrilling Barclays ATP World Tour Finals. All of our official merchandise stores in the foyer, fan zone, and concourses. Don't miss our limited edition range of t-shirts, towels, caps, mugs, and a whole host of exclusive souvenirs. There's something for everyone from this year's season finale.
Made off here, 4-5 first set. Both used the drop shot very intelligently so far.
That's just testimony to the fact that they're not one-trick ponies. They've got a lot of variety in their game.
And it's so nice when you use that variation sparingly too, just as Gasquet did with the backhand down the line to get the break, just as both have done with the drop shot. When it's most unexpected, it's even more effective, isn't it? Well, you can't argue with that. What a fantastic hold that was. Wasn't the right time to go down the line. You've got to do so when you're in good position. You know, perhaps dominating in the rally there. He's wide of the single sideline. He's a little off balance, so a little tougher to execute the shot. First ace of the match for the Frenchman. And that's a poor shot. It's interesting, isn't it? It's 5-all, it's 30-all, so you'd think honours are even, but in terms of the momentum, you do get the distinct impression that, you know, it's now with Del Potro a little bit.
Again, Gasquet's just getting a little too deep in the court. That's the problem. Just opens up the angles. And of course, this guy's so good at exploiting them.
Another chance to break. It's a great serve.
Sneaky good.
Our French commentators in the booth next to us on their feet.
Getting really animated, aren't they?
There's nothing neutral about their commentary, that's for sure.
Serious piece of hands from Gasquet. I mean, I thought Del Potro's forehand here was pretty decent, but look at this half volley ripper. Talk about natural ability. There it is, right there. Can't teach that.
shot making from Gasquet seals the service game for the Frenchman. Beautifully done. He's that backhand down the line again. He hasn't used it that often, but when he has, it's been highly effective, especially when he's found himself in a decent position initially to get set up and then sneak in behind it. As soon as you recognized that Del Potro had to defend there, so it was the right play and the volley was relatively simple. Nice little bump from Del Potro, forcing Gasquet to play a half volley. Not as easy to control those. It's a beautiful shot and a lovely pattern of play too. Serve was good enough to earn the short reply. Dealt with it beautifully. Hasn't been much to choose between these two. Last 45 minutes or so.
Lost 6 sets that they played coming into this match. Only once has Gasquet been able to get it to a tiebreaker. And pretty routine victories for Del Potro. Oh, I love that play. That's the way to take it to opponents. Once again, surprise factor really working well for Gasquet. Just a good deep bunt. Again, talk about all court skills.
Yeah, it really did take Del Potro by surprise. Very little he could do there, given the depth on the return and surprise tactic. He's got great hands, hasn't he, Gasquet? Why not do that? Oh, it's a shame because the serve was a good one. That's perhaps been one of the reasons why he hasn't been able to break into the top 5. It's hard when your forehand is a weakness against the very best players in the world. It's easier to hide a poor backhand, like a Songa, like that, than it is to hide a weaker forehand. Beautifully done. Followed the line of the approach shot beautifully. So even though it looked like he was at full stretch on the volley, he was always going to be in control of that shot. He would have been in trouble had he covered the center of the net after the approach shot. he would have had too much court to cover before volleying. You've got to understand where to move to become a good all-court player when coming into the net. It's an unforced error there. It's giving Gasquet an opportunity here to some distance between him and Del Potro.
Just looks a little frustrated to me. Small signs. Gasquet's done a good job of hitting a lot of balls to his back, and he hasn't allowed Del Potro to get that forehand firing.
Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely sensational. He's hit a handful of those now at precisely the right moment.
You're right, Jason, and when he has gone to the forehand, he's gone with the utmost of accuracy and pace. He's used that shot sparingly today, but very effectively.
Oh, can you believe that?
Can't believe he even tried that shot.
Neither can Gasquet.
And it's just wiped its feet on the top of the net as it's gone over.
Yeah, it was a very polite drop shot. It's, kept Del Potro in the hunt. Oh, what a reserve. Absolutely superb. Again, it was the reading of the serve that helped him out there, able to prepare a little earlier. And as a result, swing a little more freely at the ball. Gasquet deservedly now with 2 set points. Absolutely superb. The apology for the ball clipping the top of the net, but he couldn't have constructed that point any better.
Lovely. $15 all. 15-13.
Good old school tennis, that backhand slice up the line, followed by the drop shot, forcing him to cover the maximum amount of ground.
Whoa. Quite as effective when going down the line with his forehand as he has been so far with the backhand. Nevertheless, he's still in an excellent position here, having pocketed the opening set on a tie-break.
Winners in the match so far.
And of course, the good coaches will tell you that there's nothing wrong with going to one area of the court in order to open up the other. And that's what Gasquet's done really well. He's created the angle, he's gone short cross-court, and then when he's found himself in a good position, he's used his favourite shot, that backhand line, to great effect. Because if you do that too much, then your opponent starts to read it, and then it's not as effective on a big point. That's what he's done so well, in my eyes, to date. He's used it so sparingly, but on huge points. Not that time.
14-13.
To maintain his concentration. And sometimes you want a tight opening set, and there's a natural lull in the early stages of the next set. That's what you've got to guard against. Keep the intensity level nice and high. Hasn't returned that serve well today, Del Potro. So it's sensible that Gasquet has used that serve on big points. He hasn't served all that often, but when he has, he's has reaped the rewards. Seen some lovely variation from the Frenchman.
One game.
All areas of the court today. Of course, he's had a great season. Gasquet will finish as the #1 Frenchman. First time since 2007. That's a good effort. It's always nice. Top dog back home.
Long. Fifteen all.
Superb return. Great depth.
That was circa 1987, and Stefan Edberg was in his prime, slicing and dicing. Good to see.
New balls, please.
Of course, this tournament's always been very popular with the players. And the former tournament director was Brad Druitt. Of course, he was the CEO of the ATP as well. And of course, sad news this season was his passing, Robbie.
It certainly was, and of course, all the ATP officials wear that badge. You can see there with the Brad's initials, Brad Druitt, BD.
They did lots of good work as CEO of the ATP, former player, so I think all of the current players appreciated that. They knew that he knew what they were going through and what their concerns were. Of course, he's got a nice lasting legacy in Beijing, where we were a few weeks ago. They renamed one of the courts after him there.
Yeah, of course, he used to be head of the region.
Yep.
So before becoming CEO.
Did a lot of hard work trying to do the best for tennis in Asia.
Yeah, I worked very closely with Charles Smith and Mike Luevano to make a tournament in Asia, especially Shanghai, the event that it's become initially the Tennis Masters Cup, but now they've got the Masters 1000 there. There it is, the wrecking ball.
It's the first time we've seen that this evening, isn't it? It's been a long time coming, but well worth the wait.
Unfortunately, I've got to admit that it was Jason who came up with the description of the Del Potro form, but I've liked it so much that I'm trying to be coining the phrase myself. But
I'm happy with the royalties. No
are
problem.
you? Okay. Obviously came about because of all the posters of Miley Cyrus that he has in his bedroom.
Barclays, thank you.
It wasn't anything to do with the fact that you were watching that video on repeat in Shanghai a couple of weeks ago. That's good tennis. He struggled in his initial service game in the second set. There's another opportunity here, the Argentine. The first time this evening, Gasquet gets a little tight on that short backhand and attempting to go down the line. He's missed a couple, but they've been when he's been in a tougher situation than that. And Del Potro now leads 3-1. He's not playing a lot better in this set. I think Gasquet has just gone off the boil a little bit. It's separated the two now. This is an important game. Needs a good hold here. And that will allow him just to relax for the first time in the match. Just not making that shot now.
13-15.
Yeah, Del Potro cutting down on his unforced. But Gasquet's already made as many unforced errors in the second set as what he did in the entire first.
Yeah, now it's allowing Del Potro to set the tone of many of these rallies, especially when he gets that first serving.
14-15.
Still not serving as well as he would want. He's only made 7 of 16 in this second set. So there's still room for improvement despite the lead. And that's more like it.
Thank you. Mr. Gasquet starts the ball, the right center line, the ball is on the lines. Ball is returned. 15 line. Third to love. Ball to love. Ball to 15.
I read the serve well. He hasn't returned particularly effectively off the forehand.
Gasquet.
But a service game there from Gasquet. Nice, comfortable, quick hold.
The Potro leads by 4 games to 2.
Just the one break separating these two. It's a lovely little sneak.
And good technique.
Nice footwork through the backhand volley. Don't make the mistake when you do sneak in of then checking and then waiting for the ball to come to you. Move through it. Take it as close to the net as you possibly can. Give your opponent the least amount of time to recover. Superb.
It's just started to bring out the cracks as well. He's settling into a nice rhythm.
Left, second service. Third to 15.
It's twice in this game. Superb move forwards at precisely the right moments, and then lovely feel on that backhand volley. Got some nice little slice on that.
Ball to 15.
Now, once again, variation within the volley. The first one, we saw him run through and add pace to the shot. Now he's showing us that he's got that slightly tougher one, taking pace off the ball and having the necessary feel. Stop it! How good is that?
He's really now starting to play with a little more fluency.
Love 15.
Oh, yes.
Love 13.
Great get this was. It just shows you one average shot, boy, and this guy will make you pay.
Fifteen, 13. Thank you, Bogal. Thank you.
Just overcooked it. But it was good movement from Del Potro, you know, by moving that way, forcing Gasquet to go ever closer to the line. And this would be a big bonus for Del Potro because then, of course, he'd be able to serve first in the deciding set. He read it well. That time he knew Gasquet was going to go down the line.
30,
Anything there would have sufficed on the volley. Still set point. I understand the frustration.
advantage in Gasquet.
Superb shot. That's not easy from the centre of the court. It's like an inside-out backhand there. And that's a good hold from 15-40.
5 games separated.
Here's Del Potro. Just a decent service game away from taking us the distance. a shot on the volley, but it came in on a wing and a prayer, didn't he?
15 love.
Really knife the backhand.
Mr. Potro is trying to go. The right sponsor line and the ball is going up. Mr. Potro has 2 challenges remaining.
Oh, it didn't just happen. He's normally pretty good overhead.
30 all.
Saw him with some exquisite smashes last week in Bercy. He's done so well to get out of trouble in this game. I think just out of the corner of his eye, he might have seen that Potro was guessing the right way.
He also glanced up at the big screen, didn't he, afterwards as well? The upshot of it all is that we'll now Del Potro back into such an important game. He now has a set point. Elevated the level of his game a little bit there, but also be careful. Got to choose the right moment to go down the line with that backhand. It worked exceptionally well when he did so in the opening set.
Thank you, bye-bye. Thank you. Yeah. Wait, please.
It's a lovely serve.
30-15.
Brilliance. That was the right time to use that shot. He was in a slightly better position inside the single sideline, not forced wide of it. And of course, he combined those two shots beautifully, opened up the court initially by going short angle cross court. Extreme grip on that backhand. It's pretty much as far around as you can get it. Watching Gasquet shot for shot there.
Ball to England. England. Third line.
It's a lovely combination. That backhand, that pile driver of a shot that set him up wonderfully.
I notice you're sticking with the building theme. The pile driver and the wrecking ball. I think it's a good combo. I like it.
It's pretty decent, isn't it? Surprised he didn't try and do a little more with that backhand there.
One game on. Pause, please.
New restring, introduction of the new balls, travel to the air just that little bit quicker. Of course, there's a big difference as well in the practice courts here because it's relatively cool out there. Ball traveling through the air a little slower. But then, of course, you get on this centre court here with 17,000 fans breathing on you, and it's a lot warmer. Ball traveling through the air just that little bit quicker, so they'll need the additional control that we'll get from a new restring when the new balls are introduced.
30-15. Okay, Gasquet. New balls, please. 15 love.
Just starting to get a little frustrated with his inability to make that shot. It's one of his favourites. He's just lost a bit of feel on it. Gasquet was going the other way, so anything over the net there would have sufficed. It's just starting to grow a nice bit of stubble there. Del Potro, one of these players that is clean shaven at the beginning of the week, but then doesn't like to shave during tournaments. Just like Borg back in the day at Wimbledon. On the approach there with the damage.
30 all. Barclays. It's a ball of that.
Both fighting hard for any kind of advantage here in the early stage of this deciding set, but neither has had the ability to do so far.
Love.
Smashing. I thought he's got to get over him. Come under the microscope there. So, considering you missed such a crucial one a little earlier, he's done really well here. Just a little bit of additional spin just to give him the control. Smart to let that one bounce. It's just keeping an eye on slow motion on the big screen.
That slider well, Gasquet, and Del Potro hasn't really dealt with it to the best of his ability. But on this court, that slice serve's always worked well. Stays a little lower, moving away from your opponents all the time. Not easy for a tall player like Del Potro. Good serve to use, and that is a crucial hold. Nice positive body language from Gasquet. Still fancies it, which is good to see. Underway earlier today. It's a lovely little shot from Gasquet. Very sensible, not trying to go for the outright winner, just dipping it to Del Potro's feet with a lot of topspin. Always a tough volley, that. He does that so well. He uses the open court beautifully. Just puts his opponent under so much pressure by moving them from side to side. Very tiring playing against Del Potro.
I'm always amazed when I see Gasquet hit that backhand, even though that one just went long. But I think if there's one man that's going to interrupt my thought process, it's the chairman of the All England Club, Phil Brook, of course, a fellow Yorkshireman, isn't he?
He is, with his wife there, Jill, both good players. And Tim Hemming was telling us earlier today, good golfer too. Phil? And of course, Tim was also telling us that he's going with Phil to Augusta, isn't he, next week? A nice little trip that is.
I'd certainly love to be involved in. And I'll get onto that aeroplane.
Tim was also telling us that he got in trouble, didn't he? When
That was funny last year.
he was suggesting that Phil wasn't quite as good a golfer as he is.
Yeah, of course, when he was commentating last year, Phil came up and suggested he was 15, I think he said, and he thought he was actually low-balling him a bit just to be conservative. As you can imagine, in no time he got an email from somebody saying actually he's officially a 12. So Tim had given him 3 shots more than what he should have.
So Tim quickly apologised in writing. And luckily got the invite to Augusta this time.
By the end of the match, Phil was playing off an 8.
And rightly so. Done an excellent job at the All England. Going to be a lot of major changes there over the next few years, improving the player facilities and the experience for the fans as well. That's crucial. that those two are always considered together.
15 all.
Gasquet's got to be careful here. Superb backhand that, but I was surprised that Del Potro didn't continue to try and break down the forehand there. After Gasquet shanked one initially and then dropped the next one exceptionally short. Much prefer to hit a backhand here, even under extreme pressure.
That's the one I was talking about a little earlier before we had the shot of Phil. Just when you think he's going to have to slice it, somehow he just maneuvers the wrist and is able to dip it down and then rip the backhand. Such fast hands.
Del Potro is trying to call. The right baseline, the ball is coming.
Not really that close, that one. So just wanted to be sure, given the importance of the point.
Mr. Del Potro has 2 challenges only.
This time it's Gasquet who will challenge the lack of a call there. He's made it. It's a lovely little shot.
Mr. Gasquet has 2 challenges. Advantage Del Potro.
This tactic, facing break point, you can see Gasquet going to the backhand more often than not. Had a fair few first serves, especially on the ad side.
It's unusual because looking back over the match, he's got a lot of cheap points when serving to the Del Potro forehand, especially in the juice court.
Good call, Chase.
That's a nice change up for Gasquet.
Wasn't the biggest serve, just 113 miles an hour, but you could see how much swing that had on it. As soon as it bounced, it was always going away from Del Potro, and even with his long levers, I wasn't able to shove that one back in.
Advantage Del Potro.
Just got to be careful now. He's double faults. There haven't been that many, but a couple now in this deciding set, to 3 in total. But it's not necessarily how many you serve, it's when you hit them, how costly they are. That's a beautifully measured forehand volley there.
Oh, some good change-ups from Gasquet. I mean, you've got to take your head off to the young man.
Just wrong footing Gasquet there.
This is where Gasquet struggles in long matches. Tough games like this, Jason. He's not getting the 3 points on serve. He's had a couple of juice points now. He's had to ground out each and every one, and he's lost the last 3. That's where guys with 3 points, maybe even 2, you throw down the bomb, get yourself out of trouble.
It helps relieve the pressure, doesn't it? His best service game by any stretch of the imagination.
Please. Love 15. Long. Yep.
What an angle. Here's a jump backhand a la Marcelo Rios, sticking with the South American theme. He invented it, but I tell you what, Potro just perfected it.
Let's persons.
That's a shame, because that was a predetermined play. Gasquet thought Del Potro was going to serve the kicker to his backhand, so he was already moving. He wanted to hit a forehand and maybe try and come in behind it as well. That's a tactic that we've seen him use on a couple of occasions. It's unusual, because obviously backhand is the favourite shot there. So running around hiding that, using his weaker forehand. So casual there, Del Potro. I think he thought that shot was going to float long, but it didn't.
40,
What an absolute hammer blow that was.
And right there's the difference between the two players. In the previous game, when Gasquet is in a bit of trouble, doesn't have the luxury in calling on a serve like that. Of course, Del Potro does. Makes a big, big difference.
Del Potro.
And there it is again. It's the advantage that the big servers have.
Beautiful little disguise. For once, Del Potro's field just letting him down. He's had a couple of beautiful backhand drop shots already, but
15 lines. Go to line. Ball to line.
Perhaps Del Potro now just readying himself for one more decent service game.
Ball to 15.
He's just come under that smash a little bit.
Mr. Gasquet on the ball. The right wing.
Perhaps he's just lost a bit of confidence in that shot. Oh, Del Potro can't believe that.
Gasquet. With the lead by
Gasquet 5-4
No, I didn't.
for the win.
still thinking about the initial shot.
Yep. Moment of indecision costing Del Potro dear there.
It's amazing that he's tried that shot at this stage in the match and pulled it off. Drop shot for return of serve. And of course, having the necessary feel and to cope with that shot off the forehand wing.
Sensational shot making.
Just shows you how important the first point in a game is, because there was the tight call on the baseline. He ended up losing a point, and it's just ruffled his feathers a bit.
Golden opportunity here for Gasquet. Oh, an awful game from Potro there. Another good example, Robbie, of what we were talking about at the beginning of the match and what we've spoken of regularly when discussing Gasquet's improved form emotionally throughout the last 2 or 3 seasons. 2 years ago, he would have already checked out of this match mentally. Still ready to compete even when his opponent's serving for the match. So tough there mentally.
First service. Love the team.
It's all getting a little tight, isn't it? Constructed the point so well.
15-13.
He'd love a do-over there. Just a point away then from serving for the match for a second time. Difficulty Del Potro has with that short ball on this court. It stays low, forces him to bend. Not comfortable doing so. It's a wonderful return. He's got a chance to make amends here. Still break point. definitely in, but given the importance of the point, he has to do so. And it was tight, with a lot of spin. It was dipping viciously. Oh, he's made it!
You happy with replaying the point? Did the call affect the nature of the shot?
And that's what Gasquet was asking, wasn't he? And of course, it's so difficult to remember, even just because it was, you know, moments ago. There's so many things you're thinking about. It's a tough call for the umpire. The safe decision is to call a let.
It's been happening less, though, Jason. All those points aren't being replayed these days. Certainly was the case last week in Paris, and I've noticed that this season.
Let second service.
Superb ball striking. Courageous tennis from Del Potro, willing to open his shoulders when he... And, we did mention when he served for the match at 5-4, the first point of the game, so crucial, setting the tone and either putting the server under pressure, when of course at 5-4 he lost the first point, or just helping settle the nerves by winning it here.
Shot's been a little off today. Hasn't found the range 100% on the forehand. He kind of got dialed in for a little bit during that second set. Still not what we saw in Asia.
Brilliance.
There's a ticket to the party. And I like the fact that even though he's missed a forehand, he's not going to back down, Jason, because he realizes the importance of racket head speed when the pressure's on. It gives you actually more control. You're able to impart more spin.
It's a very sensible approach shot. He's worked exceptionally hard to gain the upper hand in this match. To 2 hours and 22 minutes. Here's Del Potro, 2 match points.
Second service. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 2-
to open with a win. Didn't play his best tennis by any stretch of the imagination this evening. It was a spirited match from Gasquet. Played some really good tennis in the opening set, but just lost his form in the early stages of the second. 6-7, 6-3.